Well, how you doing, everyone? This is a later upload than usual, so I'm not going to apologise for it because it's not my fault. Basically, this has been day one of the Iberian Masters, and the rain has just come. We've fished 12 until 5, and you've probably seen the updates throughout the week. If you haven't, in the lead up to this competition through training days, then they are right here on this Fishing Life channel for you to watch. I've had a terrible start to it, I'll be absolutely honest with you. I've had an incredibly frustrating day. I'm down in E section. I've been on E8 and it has fished hard, but I've had a very, very frustrating day. But the most frustrating day I've ever had. But I mean, where I am, numbers wise, I've caught more than them around me, but there's one or two carp caught which I think might beat me, but it's been hard. I've had a very frustrating day in the sense that we've got the weed here. The E section is where we trained during the week, and it's very, very weedy. However, this peg here is much weedier, but it's also snaggy beyond those weeds as well. Just past that reed line there, it's very, very rocky, and I've ended up with 5 Carasio. That's what I've got. The lad on my right's got 2 Carasio. I've got 5, he's got 2. The lad on my left, he got a carp. First cast, it was only in 90 seconds of the 12 o'clock. It's gone round, he's got a carp, and that's it. He's not had another fish all day. Next one along, I think he's got a carp and a Carasio, and that's it. So you're probably getting the picture about how hard it's fished. So whilst I've got 5 fish, maybe a bit unlucky not one of those to be a carp. However, I've had 5 Carasio, but I've lost 2 Carasio in the weed. I've lost one that shed the hook into the weed, and the other Carasio actually got snared on a shock leader and an entire rig that I'd lost in that rig previously. I mean, for the chance that happens, just so frustrating. And I've also lost a carp as well on this near side. I went for a carp. I knew I needed a carp because I weren't going to get the numbers of Carasio later on. I put a bigger bait on, and I've had my bite, and it's just the drag's gone, and it's got about 5 or 6 turns. I've got it on film for you because I am actually filming this week, and it's just locked me up into a snag. So I've lost a carp, lost 2 Carasio, I've got 5, but I've also actually lost 12 complete setups of feeder gear and shot leaders, which, as you know, is so frustrating. The fishing's hard enough as it is, but when you're trying to tackle snags and things. So the rods that I've had set up there, I had 4 set up this morning and a feeding rod. Within probably an hour and 20 minutes, I'd lost all 4 setups. So every time I lost a setup, I was having to literally get another shot leader on and tie a brand new setup from scratch. So I wasn't fishing at all. And 12 times I've done that. So I've lost 12 feeders, 12 hook lengths, 12 shot leaders. Incredibly frustrating. I've spent a lot of the time today just not really fishing. The far bank's been very, very snaggy, so I had to come away from that, and even there I was getting snagged because, as you can imagine, when you're losing leaders and stuff, you're leaving tackle in the swim as well, so you're kind of compounding the problem, but there's nothing you can do about it. So an incredibly frustrating day. I don't know what my 5 fish are going to get me points wise. So it is raining now, so I was going to stop here and set these rods back up, but I'm not going to do that in the rain, because what I've now got to do is head up to the tackle shop, which is 10 miles away, because I've lost 12 feeders, and the 12 feeders that I need for this venue. So I'm going to have to race up to the tackle shop now, go and get some feeders, then race back to the hotel. Then I'm going to have to set my rods up again, at least, well, these 4 rods, but I've also used a lot of the spare shot leaders that I'd tied up, so I'm going to have to tie some of those. And I've obviously got to replace the 12 hook lengths that I've lost as well. So it could be a later evening. I wanted to go home and chill out tonight, or go back to the hotel, but that's not going to be the case now. So I'm just hoping I'm not too far down the section. I honestly don't know. I must be bottom half. I'm guessing bottom half of the section, which is exactly nowhere where you want to be. But it has fished very, very hard. And I know I'm going to be counting those fish that I've actually lost. It's just, really unfortunate I've lost them the way that I have. So I'm going to film from the hotel for you once I get the results, when the results up, just so that, signing off today in today's upload, you will know where I am in the section, and I'll be able to tell you probably where I am overall as well after day 1, which won't be very high, but I've just got to focus on getting my kit right now. If I sit and ponder on it too much, it's going to be really, really disappointing and upsetting. So just going to get this gear packed away. The scales are here now, and I'll check in with you back at the hotel once I know what the scores are. So I just want to say thanks everybody for all the great support I've had so far. But I'll see you in the warm and dry at the hotel when I know what the weights and the points are. Well, it's 7:30 and here are the results. They're already up in reception. Absolute brilliant organisation for everybody. Lots of the competitors here now relaxing. So just to give you an idea, there's no overalls up yet by the looks of it. But these are the sectors. Oh, they are. Is that finger fishing? Oh, they have. Yes, they have. So sectors. So I'm just going to give this a quick rundown for you. That is the whole of A sector. This is a video, so you can obviously pause it so you can see the weights and points. Sector C, it's everyone there. Sector D, and then Sector E, which is the sector I've been in. And as I feared the worst, it's actually a little bit worse than I thought, to be honest. My sector has actually been won with 11 kilo 681 on E22. E18 was second, E23 was third, so there's obviously been some fish at that end. E19 was fourth, and then E2, which is the other end of the section, which has been down to my left, and then E20. You can see the weights there. All right, now my 5 Carasio ended up weighing just 2 kilo 140, which where I wasn't too bad, to be fair, but unfortunately that's put me on 17 points out of the 23, which is a terrible start. But if you do look at, I've just noticed the peg numbers actually. I've been on E8. Okay, so this angler was 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th in the sector. Just look at the split of pegs. I've been on E8. 16th was on E6, E7, E9, E5. It looks like that's been a bad area. E4 as well, and E3. So according to that, it's not been a great area at all. But obviously we're always counting our lost fish. And for a top 10 in that particular sector, I would have needed 3 kilo 600. So it has fished really hard, even though there's been some good weights here. That area there looks as though it's been rubbish, but there's nothing you can do about that. That's your draw. So very disappointing start. The overalls, that's really going to put me down on the overalls. We'll have a quick look at those now. These are on the next board. Thank you. Cheers, Clive. So Marvin is winning the competition so far with 20 kilos 548. Okay, and that was from sector B, B19, just to give you an idea, so that's 20 kilo. So that is going to put me way down. So that has put me right down here. Look at that, terrible position, 81st. 2 kilo 140, 17 points. That's a terrible place to be right now, with all those anglers behind me. And I think we need to mention that there are zeros here, so there have been some blanks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There have been 5 blanks. Yeah, there's been a few blanks there. So for me personally, it's a terrible start, but a great start for all the people on this sheet here. And with the English interest, we've obviously got Marvin topping the league there. He's got the lead, and in 7th we've got Lee Kerry on it, 11 kilos. Phil Ringer on 8 kilos, and that's your top 13. So from my own personal point of view, that's the worst start I've ever had to this competition. And like I said, there's not a lot I can do about it now. All I've got to try and do is get my kit ready. I'm heading back up to the room now because I've got about 30 minutes to tie a few more hook lengths. Just check those shot leaders, sort my rods out. I've done some of my rods, and then just kind of roll with it. Just pop this light on. Just kind of roll with it, try and wash it off and go down and get some food. Have a nice hot meal. Just try to reset and just get ready for day 2 tomorrow, where I'm obviously hoping for a better draw, where I can hopefully try and get my way back up that leaderboard. But just got to say massive thank you to everybody for all the great messages, and don't forget, if you want to see more of these updates from our competitions, please give this video a thumbs up, and hit subscribe if you want to continue watching this channel grow. So it's going to be an early night, just got to reset, and hopefully tomorrow is going to be a little bit more successful.